Meeting of the Greenbrier County Republican Club will come to order. It is 6:30, and Dave and Mindy Fuchs are not able to be here, so I'll go ahead with an invocation. Lord, we come before you today asking your grace, your watch care, your protection on all of us as we meet here tonight and as we leave and head to our homes and our offices. We pray you will watch over us. Keep us in your hands, Lord. Help us to be interested, informed, civil, and loving. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. We have a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now,
Thank you.
Touch the center.
What's wrong?
There you go.
It's not feeling well. Coming in, so.
we have a texted treasurer's report from Allie Smith. And an account total of $8,544.21. Interest deposit, 36 cents. There was another deposit of $125 and a mobile deposit of $30. Now, can I get it up? Okay. Interest deposit of at least 40 cents. I can't read the other one, the other digit.
Okay.
We will get a written version of that for our minutes, and those will be available soon. We have a program tonight from the West Virginia Commissioner of Agriculture, Kent Leonhardt, and we have a visitor tonight. His name is Jonathan Comer. He has another commitment this evening, and so he has asked to go before the commissioner, and the commissioner has agreed.
Thank you.
Payment will take place later. Jonathan Comer is a pastor for the last 26 years over at what church, John?
Lewisburg Baptist.
Lewisburg Baptist. And you are filing to run for the
West Virginia.
10th Senatorial District, which is currently occupied by Vince Dees.
Indeed.
So, as you know, we cannot make a commitment to support until after the primaries are run, but we would sure be glad to hear you make your case for, let's say, 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to stand here or come up there?
That'll be fine. Maybe over here would be good and face the audience.
Okay. All right. Right here. Good.
That's good.
All right. Well, as they said, my name's Jonathan Comer, and I'm used to speaking in front of people, but not in this capacity. And I'm thankful to be able to be here with you and meet some people I already know, and also meet some new people. But I wanted to let you know that I'm the pastor of Lewisburg Baptist, as was mentioned, and I've been there for the last 26 years, and I've had an opportunity to work with people here in Greenbrier County, not only in our church, but also in our academy and in our child care center. And so I bring, I believe, that experience to the table, and we teach our kids as we educate them at our academy. We don't indoctrinate them, but we teach them how to think and not what to think. And so I think that's very important in our society today. And I want to, I'm asking to earn the vote of the people of the 10th District, part of Fayette County, Nicholas County, Greenbrier County, Monroe, and Summers County rather, for their vote in this primary election. And I want to be their voice and your voice for lower taxes. We need to obviously lower our taxes here in West Virginia and put more of the money back in the hardworking pockets of the West Virginia. And that's really one of the reasons I'm running, is because I love West Virginia. I'm born and raised in West Virginia. I'm a native of Charleston. I was born and raised there. And then I moved here in Greenbrier County in 2000. So I've been here for the last 26 years. And it's been our privilege. My wife's name is Bethany, and we have 3 daughters. And our 3 daughters all were born at Greenbrier Valley Hospital. And we've called this home. This is where our girls call home. And this is where we've called home for all these years. And we thank God for West Virginia, and we love it. We love the people. And I want to be that voice in Charleston for lower taxes, also for better paying jobs, where people can have jobs that will sustain them. And also I think about, roads, bridges, infrastructure. We need, of course, cleaner water. We need expanded sewer systems, and we need infrastructure, better health care, so that we can be what we need to be for all of our citizens and meet their health care needs, be able to attract better doctors, better nurses, better health care professionals to our area. And when we do all of this, then we'll be able to keep, I believe this is very important in our declining population, to be able to keep the people that we have in the state. This is one of the great needs of our state, to be able to keep people here in our state, our children, our grandchildren, to keep them here in West Virginia. And also, when we think about doing all these things, this will also attract other businesses. This will also attract other people to come to our state, and we can meet the declining population that we have, and make West Virginia a wonderful place, a more affordable place to live. And I'm thankful for President Trump and what he's done in tackling and lowering gas prices for all of us. And I'm a proud supporter of Donald Trump, and have been since the beginning. And I'm thankful for what he's done for our country. I believe he loves it. And I'm looking forward, if I earn the vote, the people of the 10th District, to go to Charleston and to represent them in the days ahead. Thank you so much for your time, and may God bless you. May God bless West Virginia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No questions? Given that I assume that Vince Dees is going to be running as well, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then, in what respect do you feel you can better represent this community than Vince Dees is doing?
Well, I believe I would be the true conservative voice for the 10th District, and I'm a lifelong Republican, and I have conservative values, and I believe I would better reflect the conservative values of this area.
Mr. Comer, you mentioned that you have concern with the water quality here. And I know there are other places in the state, primarily in southern West Virginia, that have had water problems for several years. Do you have any way to recognize those and to help them get clean drinking water and sewage?
Well, obviously there's been a big problem with all this, and I'm of course new to all these things, and I believe we need good common sense approach to all this to bring that to pass, and for obviously for cleaner water, for expanding our sewer system, and for infrastructure, for businesses, and for the health and welfare of our citizens.
Other questions? I saw some hands.
How long do you think it would take you to clean up Charleston so I can walk through it like I did as a kid?
That's a great question, Frank.
How
But,
long are you
I was born in, I'll say it this way, I was born in Charleston, West Virginia, in Loudondale, if you know where Canole State Forest is. I was born in Canole, right? We called Loudondale, we were called Creekers, that's what we were called, and that wasn't an endearing term either. That was a snide term. But anyway, so I was born in Charleston, but I got to Greenbrier County as quickly as I could. So I'll say that.
Well, I used to ride the bus from Beasley Street on Washington Boulevard down and go to Rock Lake swimming with my buddies, get back on the bus at the end of the day and come home. And that's what I expect.
I believe we used to have the Hillsiders and the Creekers.
Okay, that's right, yeah.
I'm
South
from
Hills.
there also.
Okay, you are, okay, yeah.
Anyone else?
Charleston's a wonderful place to be from, you know.
Yeah.
Only visit on occasion. No, but I love Greenbrier Valley, and this is where we call home, and we love it here.
Commissioner Leonhardt, you came here and very gracefully allowed Mr. Comer to speak first, but can you give us an idea what's the impetus, what's going on in your department, what is your intent for the next election? And I know you will have a lot to say. You have
Are the horses back in there?
You have probably one of the best run departments in the state of West Virginia, and I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate those kind words. I like to think we have one of the best run, and the auditor actually had a farm. Were you there at that farm view meeting in Charleston a couple of years ago when the then auditor, J.B. McCuskey, told all the Farm Bureau board that the Department of Ag was the best run, fiscally run department in the state government. So he said that over his too. So I was pretty pleased with that. And I want to give you a little update on some things that we are doing, or give you some of the more recent statistics. And I will say this: even with the budget submit that the governor put in, and that we've been operating on this year, if you take the programs that have been added off our budget, since I've been commissioner, we're still at a 2008 budget. So, and we've given when the governor says we're going to give everybody a raise, and he doesn't give you Governor Justice did it too. We're going to give every state employee a raise, but they only give you the money for raises of people that are paid on general revenue, not those that are paid out of fees and things of that nature, or contracts I have with the federal government. I was still able to find the savings to give everybody a raise, even though we didn't get the money for it. We only usually got about 60%. So, but I told Governor Morrissey, I said, I'm out of fat now. I think I found all the savings I can find if I don't stay even, at least, we're going to have to start cutting some things. And these are things that the legislature has told the Department of Ag to do. I just don't go out and do a lot of things. We're a regulatory agency, but everybody, when you go on a campaign, everybody talks about the business side of agriculture and the growth of agriculture and how many farms we have and what's going on. Because that's the sexy stuff in a campaign. Nobody cares about all the regulatory stuff. So, but it's kind of interesting, the perception out there. Sometimes I think the Department of Ag, and Virginia does it, should be also called Department of Agriculture and Consumer Safety or Consumer Advocacy, because we do an awful lot of work in the food safety realm and consumer protection. You know, like if you've got dog food, how many people here have a pet? When you buy that pet food, you want to make sure it's what it says on the label so your pet stays healthy. Or if your veterinarian says make sure it's got 14% protein, it has that. Well, our laboratories test that to make sure the label is what it is. And I have kicked pet foods out of the state of West Virginia for not having the right label. So those are things that people don't realize that we do at the Department of Agriculture.
Not very important.
It is very important. And the other thing I like to talk about too is tourism. I mean, tourism keeps getting thrown money and money and money left and right, but let's talk about tourism a second. What makes tourism in West Virginia?
Money. The fear.
Well, we don't think that, right?
Scenery.
Yep. Who's responsible for forest health? I don't do the logging on state lands, and I don't do the permits for logging, but forest health, that's the Department of Ag for invasive species, whether it be a plant or an insect, like we're battling the spotted lanternfly. We also do the phytosanitary inspections to make sure that when trees leave West Virginia and they're going to another country, they require an inspection to make sure we're not giving them the bugs they gave us already. Which is, it's one of those non-tariff barriers to trade that you deal with. But we do most of the phytosanitary inspections on the export of rough cut lumber and logs. Most people don't realize we participate in that. And then as far as the clean waters are concerned, I chair the State Conservation Committee, and you had the question about clean waters. I'm happy to announce that West Virginia is the only state of the 6 states in the Chesapeake Bay to meet the agricultural reductions required to meet the goals of the 2025 Chesapeake Bay Water Plan. So we're the only doing it, and we do it with a voluntary and elected commissioner. The others have mandatory things they do, and the governor appoints their commissioners or secretaries of agriculture, but we're the only ones meeting the goal. So I'm very proud of the agricultural community in that area. And we've recently hired 3 nutrient management planners to take the lessons learned from the Chesapeake Bay to the Ohio River side of things. And we want to make sure that the Ohio River is the 2nd most endangered river in the nation. And we want to start trying to clean that up as we did the Chesapeake Bay. So we're also working in DC with our federal partners to try to get the Ohio River Restoration Act passed so we can get more funding for the cleanup of that. And I heard my deputy commissioner just sent me a text while I was driving here, said Senator Phillips was on the radio today, and he was saying we got to make sure the data centers, when they take water out and they return water, it's cleaner than when it went in. And she was so mad because that was my idea that I've been telling everybody trying to get passed. But yeah, we're doing those things, and actually we're working on a resolution nationally to try to get that as a national thing as well. But anyway, those are the type of things that we work on. I just got back from Washington yesterday. I was at the Winter Policy Council for the National Association of State Departments of Ag. As many of you know, I've been on the board, the national board, as the president of the Southern Association. Regional, I currently serve as president of the Southern U.S. Trade Association for the southern states. And we work on foreign trade, and actually the southern region's doing a lot better. And we actually even have an inbound mission for some of our timber and some of our beverage companies. Some of the foreign countries are going to come into West Virginia to taste, and we're going to try to get some more export for West Virginia products out the door, and that brings revenue in. So everybody likes to brag about because like I said, the 10% of my job might be economic development. But that's what everybody likes to brag about and talk about on campaigns. And you hear it every time. You're going to hear a whole lot about how great the Republicans have done. We can bring in Nucor in and all these other jobs and the big announcements. But and Faye knows this. She's part of our incremental job creation. You know, one person at a time. We get one cottage industry going, and we're building one. Did you know that our taco folks, remember our taco truck folks that are our veterans? They're getting ready to set up their second taco truck. So, and they're using West Virginia grown products in their taco trucks. JoJo's Tacos.
And Mountain Table that has that coffee shop north of 219, I saw him in progress, and he's going to working on getting his coffee in the Tamarack, because Greenbrier has pulled out the coffee stand there, and he's going to put his in there. Alexander, Alex, and Nadine, are their names?
That'd be great.
And so that'd be good. I mean, it's a small, he's a West Virginia grown member also.
Right.
And he's came a long ways. They work hard at it. They make their own coffee.
We have a lot of West Virginians, like you do, working very hard on this cottage industries. And we've changed the laws to make it a little bit less regulatory, but still make sure it's safe. Part of what you hear a lot of people talk about food freedom. They don't want the meat processing. They don't want the inspections and all this other stuff. But when you go to the grocery store, you have a reasonable expectation. When you pull that product off the shelf, it's going to be safe for you to eat. You come into this restaurant, you have a reasonable expectation that that food is going to be safe. And sometimes food regulations, they say they're a hindrance to business, but they're actually a positive to business. The Food Safety Modernization Act, which contains a lot of traceability, is a classic example. That if people have heard about romaine lettuce outbreaks, right, and recalls, if I can trace that romaine lettuce back to one farm, then the only lettuce that has to come off the shelves in our stores is from that farm.
Yeah.
I don't have to take it. If I can't trace it back, guess what happens? All of it comes off, and that's not good business. So sometimes food traceability and what people think are as hindrance to business are actually good for business, and it's also good confidence. But during my budget presentation to the Senate the other day, I'll just give you some successes and growth we've had in ag. So the last statistics, we had 100 new farms in West Virginia. Mountaintop Beverage, anybody go to Morgantown and see that big plant up there in the tree? Well, they're bringing most of their milk in from Pennsylvania because they didn't want to hurt United Dairy or one dairy processor. Although they could have taken the milk from them and hurt that other business, they were good neighbors. Department of Ag brought them in, and they created 224 jobs bottling shelf-stable milk products. And they've got contracts with Pepsi and Starbucks and many other things. And they are also a West Virginia grown member as well. The other couple of weeks ago, before I did this, I went back and I asked the Secretary of State's office in 2017 when I took office, how many registered tractor supply businesses were there in West Virginia? Just out of curiosity, there was 148.
Wow.
That's a lot.
So today there's 238.
Oh, my goodness.
Now that's 90 businesses, but how many jobs? Have you heard of an economic announcement from the governor or any of the people up in Charleston or any of our other bragging about, we brought 90 tractor supply businesses in? I just had a feeling Tractor Supply was opening more stores. They had a reason they were doing it. So,
Places to shop.
we've got, since 2019, we have a 21% increase in apiaries, in beehives. How many people realize I've asked, we've gotten such a growth. I've asked the legislature for funding for another full-time state apiarist, because we have to inspect if they want to sell nukes and things across state lines. We actually send about 3,600 hives. Some of them go to Florida for the orange groves for pollination, and then they end up going to the almond groves. But we actually send from West Virginia about 3,600 hives around the country for pollination for other farms. Little old West Virginia, who would have thought?
Yeah.
So, and they all have to be inspected before they go out. That's why I need another apiarist. We have a 95% increase in honey production since 2019. Again, percent increase, yeah. We have a 29% increase in state-inspected commercial meat cutting operations. How many jobs is that? And we have a 17% increase in custom slaughter establishments. We have a honey bottling plant going in Wayne County, coming to Wayne County. Now they're going to take honey from all over and some even foreign, but they're bottling it right here in West Virginia. And we didn't have to use any economic development money to get them to come in. We just said, we worked with them, we're business friendly, we're ag friendly, and we'll help you. We educate before we regulate. We just have to kill them with kindness, and you can bring businesses in without spending a lot of taxpayer money.
Now, a lot of the honey you're talking about, bottling, how that got here, we are a net exporter or a net importer of honey.
Yeah, we probably eat more. We probably consume more honey than we grow. Yeah.
Interesting.
But you got to remember too, though. Also, we are 1 day's drive from 60% of the population of the country.
Mm-hmm.
So, for delivery and supply chain purposes, this is the second bottling company this honey company's opening up. Can't remember where the other one is, but they're opening their second one up right here in West Virginia. So, I thought that was pretty cool.
Very good.
Yeah, it's jobs and it's businesses. So when the governor was going around bragging about that we had this old budget surplus, I think agriculture is going to take a little bit of credit because we're up 27% in agricultural output according to the last national ag statistics that came out. Now I will say this, the next one will come out in 27. I expect to be knocked back a little bit on that because of the drought. We had a drought for 2 years. It hurt our livestock producers terribly. It hurt a lot. But we'll recover, and because everything else is in place so that we can recover. But I think our statistics will be off a little bit then. So anyway, I talked about the Chesapeake Bay, our veterans, a little bit of our veterans program, JoJo's Tacos. We do a pitch contest for our veterans, sort of like Shark Tank. And the veterans can come in and they can pitch their idea to grow their business, and the top ones get a cash award out of our veterans program. So that's been really interesting and pretty successful. Like I said, we've created some jobs out of that. JoJo's Tacos, Jarhead Farms down in
Alderston.
Natasha.
and all. Yep. So
when you do that, how many
What's hard?
come?
about 15 to 20 an hour.
I met
Ken, are there any regulations on deep wells?
On deep wells,
Deep wells, we're down about 1,000 feet.
DEP runs all that stuff, unfortunately.
I don't have a question.
Huh?
I don't have a question then.
She was in the room.
Yeah,
It was the back,
something fun. It was funny though.
damaged one.
I got a call from a John Deere tractor place the other day. This is some of the things that we get involved in, and they go, DEP is making us put a secondary containment tank on a beet juice container that they use for ballast in their tractors. Now, farmers in West Virginia, because of the hills, will put liquid in the rear tires to lower the, right? Used to be antifreeze, and that's very bad for the environment if it leaks out. But now they're putting beet juice in, okay? And they were going to fine them because they didn't have a secondary containment site for beet juice. So I went to DEP. They said, we'll back off. We leave the farmers alone, and the supply house alone. Next thing you know, I see this announcement on Facebook how the DOH is spreading beet juice on the highways for freezing. I'm going, you can't make this stuff up, folks.
Probably better.
Oh yeah, beet juice works.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell a politician owns a beet factory.
I don't know.
Wow.
I know.
It's good for you.
Whatever.
Yeah, I
So,
think they did it all the way down off Naked Road.
Oh my God.
yeah,
Did
and
they
now we
spray
have
it?
beet stains on the highways.
Does the beet trucks spray it in rows so you have dark
Yeah.
lines going down?
I saw that all the way down 63, right before the storm hit. Yeah.
Yeah,
It went all the way
off
into Hoffman.
Naked Road.
Yeah.
So
It uses pre-treatment's what it is,
Okay.
to keep them going from freezing.
Yeah.
It's used all over Southeast and Texas and all over.
And I get it, the organic matter in beet juice can get into streams and cause an algae bloom and things of that nature, but
I'm actually more confident that it is beet juice and not some type of toxic chemical. 'Cause
I
That's
agree
what I
with
thought
you.
it
Yeah, I
was.
agree with
Was
you
a
too.
chemical.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But anyway, so I've got to say this. I'm just privileged to be the Commissioner of Agriculture, and I appreciate the support I've had from many of you in this room. But I've got a great team. They've done an awesome job. We have 283 employees at the Department of Ag. The regulatory side is the largest division, and the environmental side. And then I also chair the State Conservation Committee, and that's where we do soil and water conservation with the conservation districts that you all elect in the primary, nonpartisan. It's kind of a wonky system where an elected official semi-oversees other elected officials, but I can't tell them what to do or how to do it, but their budget has to come through my committee, so. You have a little bit of leverage anyway, but the system works it's working in West Virginia. And like I said, we've done the Chesapeake Bay, a lot of the work there. And I think, agriculture is changing in West Virginia. It used to be mostly cow-calf operations. And we can be a cornucopia of specialty crops, and that's what you're seeing. Maple syrup production's doubled also.
Well, one thing, if you're in all those, you figure out a way to put a fence up, the goats don't go through it.
Yeah.
Well, you and I have had that discussion more than once, Frank. And how to tell if a fence will hold a goat? Throw a bucket of water at it.
They're not gonna water it.
If the water goes through, so will the goat.
Oh my God.
Well said.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
I think he had
So-
goats up there.
So I don't want to take too much more of your time. I had told everybody I wasn't going to run again after this term. And then all those 200, I can't say all 283, but an awful lot of that 283 employees said, you can't leave yet.
Make that 284.
84. So it's not till 2028, but I filed pre-candidacy. We've opened up the website again. You can find me on Facebook at Commissioner Kent Leonhardt. I'm supposedly on X again. I can't tell you where that is, what that one is yet. That's just got put up again, but you probably can search for me there. Instagram if you're an Instagrammer. The website is kentforwv.com. The donation button is activated again if you feel so inclined. We're going to start raising money. I've got one challenger already. You know what? I didn't get challenged when I ran for the state senate. I didn't get challenged the first time I ran for ag, or the second time in a primary. Everybody seems to wants this job now.
That's because you did a good job.
I think so. You've
But
also,
anyway, I'd appreciate all your support in 28. I'll be glad to come talk to you all again.
Wonderful.
we would love to have you.
I'll be glad to come down and talk anytime you guys want me. You know, we've been friends with some of you folks for a long time.
We treasure your work, your friendship, and you indicate by your tone that you're somewhat reluctantly deciding to file again. Does that have anything to do with your wife wanting to travel?
Well, I filed again. I did file pre-candidacy,
Okay.
and my wife wants to travel. But I told her, I said, and she's okay with it. She's cool. So when we travel and we go to the national meetings, like we're going to go to Maine in September. We've been to Arkansas. We've been to New Mexico, North Dakota. We see things the average tourist doesn't get to see.
Doesn't look for.
So we could go as a tourist, and you're going to get the regular tourist, whatever trip. But when we go to these places, we get. When we went to the first national meeting we went to was in New Orleans. I had never been to New Orleans. And we had state trooper escorts every time we got in the bus to go somewhere. We got inside the sugar plants and saw the raw sugar piled higher than some of our mountains. So we get to see a lot of things that we normally don't see.
You get to speak to cemeteries?
Cemeteries, yes. Yeah. And my wife's still getting to travel. She's going to Ireland with another family friend. So
She'll love that.
she's been to Norway on her own with that friend, and so she gets to travel, and I stay here and work so we can do those other travel. But I like what I do, so it's not really reluctant.
I've seen comparisons sometimes between the taste and the I can't think of the word, but the healthfulness of sugar versus cane sugar. Is that a thing?
I am not a nutritionist. I am not a doctor.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, Mike Sprain, the commissioner down in Louisiana, if I got involved in that debate, he'd probably choke me. So, but we've talked about a lot of different things, and I've got a good relationship with a lot of the other commissioners. Obviously, I mean, we're not a big ag state, and I'll brag a little bit. When Florida, Louisiana, Texas all vote to have me become the president of their organization or the trade deal, I mean, that's,
That's a real pat on the back.
I'm humbled.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
What's the total budget for the ag? You said it had an increase since '08, but what's the dollar amount?
My general revenue that the governor's proposing for this year will be $12,985,668.
That's less than I expected.
Well, actually, we're about 50 million with all the other contracts and fees and things of that nature. So when people,
Does your payroll come out of that money?
my payroll comes out of the general revenue.
The 12,000, 12 million?
To 12 million. That's what not all the payroll. So some of my laboratory work that I do with, like, I've got contracts with the FDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture. We do cooperative agreements in many other areas. So like when we do the Food Safety Modernization Act training to the farmers for that, that is paid for by the federal government as a co-regulator. Our state inspected meat is, and this is one thing that I'm fighting in DC, is half paid for by the federal government. Okay, so they don't have to have inspectors all over. However, we're restricted. A state inspected piece of meat can't be sold across state lines. It's okay for you all to eat it, but somebody in Virginia can't. It makes no sense to me. I've talked to Capito, I talked to Manchin, I've talked to Justice, I've talked to everybody about it. Everybody agrees with me. And USDA inspects it, otherwise they wouldn't send me $800,000 a year that says we're equivalent to, but the law says you have to be the same as.
Have to be what?
Same as, which in other words, every plant has to have a little office for the inspector, which is totally ridiculous.
So this is not true for other states.
It's true, every state. If you're state inspected, you can't sell across state lines. Now they've got a third program. When I talked to G.T. Thompson, the chair of the House Ag on the federal government, he says, yeah, that makes it. Then he sent me this other program, and yes, and we're exploring it, but that means I have to have a third inspection program in the state. We have USDA, we have state inspected, and then if we have the CIS program, it's ridiculous. So I keep fighting, I'm getting a little bit closer. There's two programs for food safety, one called Good Agricultural Practices, and that's a USDA run program. You've probably heard of it. It's called GAP. We train, we certify. It's very expensive for the farmers, but it allows ag marketing services to buy excess foods for like the food banks, for international subsistence, when we send those grain bags overseas, and things of that nature. But you have to be GAP certified for ag marketing services to buy it. Food Safety Modernization Act is a federally mandated program out of the Food and Drug Administration. They are almost identical, but USDA won't recognize FSMA, and so they can buy a product, and it's less expensive to get a FSMA certification, and we do that training and certification as well. So when we had an apple crisis, which Senator Manchin helped me a lot, when we were getting a lot of foreign concentrate into the country, and the apple processors weren't taking our apples. So we were about ready to let millions of dollars of apples just fall on the ground. So I got funding through Senator Manchin, and we did it right. We didn't do it through AMS running the money. The money came directly to us, and I was able to use it over 2 years and buy the apples. And I worked with a group, a nonprofit called Farmling, started by college students, to get excess foods into the Feeding Facing Hunger and into the Feeding America network. And I met him at one of those national meetings when I was chairing the Rural Development Committee, and he worked with us, and we delivered West Virginia apples. Our farmers got paid a fair price, and we delivered them all over the country. And our farmers got a fair price, and we saved a dozen plus orchards from being bulldozed under. So we still have an apple industry in West Virginia. But once that money went away, trying to get AMS to help keep it up, AMS said, no, we only had 2 of those farms were GAP certified, the rest of the farms were FSMA. And AMS would only buy from those other 2 farms. Now, anytime they buy, it helps a little bit, but the other thing that we did was then I put more, at the same time all this concentrate was coming in. If you look at your apple juice, you'll see where all these apples theoretically come from. They don't tell you the percentages. We had 2 recalls of apple juice And the United States apples were at the very bottom of that list. We were the least amount of U.S. apples for heavy metals. There's always a little bit in some of these in the processing. So I went to FDA, and we've been working more and more with FDA. And FDA is stepping up, and we've done it as a national group of ag commissioners, getting FDA to do a better job of inspecting foreign products coming in. And they have stepped up, and they're doing better. The shrimp producers were having a real heck of a time. FDA would even come in, say that you can't bring that load of shrimp into the country.
Where can I go for shrimping in West Virginia?
You can't.
Stewart has it.
You go to Kroger. But the problem was, they were turning them away. They go out to sea, they come in another port.
The heavy metals, how are they getting into the apples?
Arsenic, it's used in sprays and things of that nature.
Does it have to be? Is it
No.
essential?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So those apples you get in the grocery store, unless they're certified organic, they're nice and pretty, and our processing apples for applesauce and apple juice aren't that pretty. They don't look quite that well, but because they're going to get smashed up and everything, you don't have to go through all that. You want to. They do thin them so that they grow a little bigger, so there's more per juice per apple or sauce per apple. But if you're feeding the food insecure, who cares whether it's pretty or not? So we were able to buy them and send them out to those. The apple, believe it or not, is for the food insecure is the standard of food insecurity. Why? Because it's high in fiber, it's nutritious, and it keeps. Not like a peach or like some of the other fruits. They don't keep as well as an apple does. And certain varieties keep better than others. But this is a real apple. I learned more about apples in those 2 years than I could shake a stick at.
I used to practice over in Jefferson County in a previous life. They used to have a lot of orchards. Now, as I understand it, they don't have any.
We have some still there, but not what we used to have. Maryland, Western Maryland's the same way. That whole region and climate is
Urbanized.
urban. Yeah, I mean it's a bed down for Washington D.C. and so now it's going to be interesting to watch what's going to happen with Washington shrinking the number of working from home. So the work from home people are going to go to those areas because they have to go to the office once in a while. But I can tell you right now, there's excess in apartments in DC proper because a lot of the office buildings have been converted into apartments now. And people that had condos, the lobbyists I was talking to just this past weekend said they had trouble selling their condos that they've had for years because there's so many of them right now because fewer people are going into the office. And then with Washington, throwing more people to work from home, not going into the city and those buildings. The FBI, Hoover, I don't know what they're going to do. The FBI building, Herbert Hoover building, I toured that years ago and it's being shut down. So it's going to be a lot less office space, a lot fewer federal employees. It's going to.
Safe streets will bring more people back into Warren,
Tourists, maybe, but not more people living there because the jobs aren't there. We've cut the jobs back. Anybody have any questions? I mean, that's a mouthful. I could go on for hours.
What about the bird flu epidemic in West Virginia?
I didn't get to brag about that, did I?
What epidemic?
The avian influenza. Probably avian influenza, different varieties show up. They usually last 1 year. Summer comes, shuts down, and then you don't see it for a while. This last thing is being carried by waterfowl. It has lasted 4 years. Louisiana and West Virginia are the only 2 states without an outbreak in a commercial flight. My animal health folks have done hundreds of thousands of tests on suspected birds. Well, every year, every winter, we had 1 outbreak. Unfortunately, in a backyard flock, not in a commercial flock. In a backyard flock, the owners have all been cooperative. We've been able to contain the disease on that flock, so it didn't spread. This year I had 2 to contain.
One was in Greenbrier County.
Pardon?
I said, one of those was
Yeah.
in Greenbrier County.
Yeah.
That was just private though.
It was private, it was backyard flock, and every one, there's a similar theme. The birds are not kept inside, they're allowed to mingle with wild birds and waterfowl. And waterfowl is good, so that's why and I gotta do this again, thank you for reminding me. I gotta put a shutdown on poultry shows during the main part of the migration, the spring migration. I didn't shut it down in the fall, didn't have any troubles. Last year I shut it down in the spring because the migration's gonna start soon and I don't want the waterfowl when they come through. The problem what happens is like Tractor Supply, the supply stores that we all love and we brag about, they will allow people to take backyard birds, do a show in front of their store, sell more chicks, sell more birds, they get to sell more feed. But we're bringing birds that could potentially have the disease in close proximity to other birds, and so I will probably end up, I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna talk to the state vet, my state vet here soon, but we're probably gonna shut it down again this year.
What about the waterfowl? I'm thinking specifically of geese. Is there any way to get rid of geese from the pond?
Yes, you can call Fish and Wildlife Services, they will evaluate, they will charge you to do it.
Charge.
USDA will charge you to do it.
Get your chair and sit out there and watch and enjoy them.
Yeah, but
But don't let your backyard flock eat
they
them.
make a terrible mess.
They're terrible, they make a terrible mess.
Terrible mess.
We have less migratory geese now in the country than we used to. They're more, they stay around. I mean, I went by a field that I used to hay, that I gave up that lease the other day, and there was about 30 geese just hunkered down in the snow. They didn't leave, they didn't migrate out.
How to get below
It
the
is
ice.
almost there.
Geese, they just scratch through that snow. They eat.
We didn't have any snow on the surface, had all ice.
It's all, I don't know how they do it. Guess they go hungry for a day or two. But they love grass. Geese love grass.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Don't be an easy crowd.
One quick question on that, about the migratory birds. These geese that, have called West Virginia home now, obviously they don't migrate, go from one to the other. The idea of it was that when we had a problem in Summers County some years ago, when I was in the legislature, down at Summers County High School, the geese came to the football field because it sits right on the river. Those geese were there by the hundreds in the spring and things, and so we, inquired to the DNR, and they said the only time that they could take those geese out of there was in the molting season.
Correct.
So you made mention that we shut down in the fall. How would we shut down that geese problem potentially in the springtime? Because as they're moving forward, once they start molding, they don't fly, and they're,
The only time and when I say call Fish and Wildlife Services, they'll only come out during the molt.
yes.
And they round them up with a net while they can't fly. That's how they do it. So, I mean, I had to do it at Cedar Lakes, which is the home of the FFA because it was so bad.
And you've never had any problem with,
It's in the summer.
never had any, PETA or any of them that ever come through, because those geese, once they're taken, they are eliminated, they're not taken somewhere else.
We don't talk about that, Boogie.
Right. Yeah, that's the
And that's how
shoot,
we-
shovel, and shut up.
Turn the camera off, please.
Don't talk about what?
Kind of like mud, man.
There's just some things that should.
Yeah.
It's the reality of life.
That's right.
Are you up for a speculation question?
Sure.
Okay, let's jump from 26, because 28's running time.
Yes.
Board of Public Works, we have a governor who is on one term now. Do you anticipate, because you work with those guys over and around and about, you anticipate anybody on the Board of Public Works challenging Governor Morsi to run and if you don't want to answer it, that's fine and dandy, but what's your speculation on it? If I can, to help.
It's not that hard a question, Boogie. I think people are watching and they'll make a decision come closer, more like in 27. But, I mean, we've got to get through a 26 mid-year now. But do I think some folks are looking? Absolutely.
And would you speculate that those folks are on the Board of Public Works?
Oh, I would say there's some that are on the Board of Public Works and some that are not.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But that doesn't mean they will. I mean,
That's right.
they're just,
It's always true, not.
it's always, I thought about it. I mean, a couple of terms back, I came this close to throwing my hat in the ring, so. I mean, when you get to that position and people start saying, why don't you, it's hard not to think about it. Now I get, why didn't you?
That's smart.
Yeah.
Too smart.
It was wide open.
Anybody,
We like you where you are.
well, was part of that was, honestly, the part of the decision was, if I ran and didn't win, I'm out.
Yeah.
If I stay where I am, I've still had a challenger, but chances are I get to continue doing what I'm doing and what I enjoy. And hopefully the governor will listen to me sometimes and take some in the right way.
That's always the hope, isn't it?
It's always a hope.
Well, no other questions? Thank you.
Well, thank you all for having me. Appreciate it.
Very interesting.
Now, Barbara, is Mary Catherine here?
No.
I can speak to that. She just texted me. She had to attend a Board of Education meeting for work, is unable to make it. She's still in it, and would love to come next meeting if she can. And personally, I'd like to hear what she has to say. So if we'll welcome her, I'll let her know. And
That'd be perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, we still have a person who wants to present. John, do you have anything to report from your committee?
Well, indeed, I do.
Group?
There's been a lot going on, as you all know, up in Charleston. Although I don't know whether it's up in Charleston or down in Charleston, but wherever,
My husband
whichever
says
direction
down.
it
Down.
sounds. I'm sorry?
My husband always says down.
They say
Though I
down.
say
It's
up.
down.
It's up.
Yeah.
So there we are.
We
It
call it
doesn't quit.
elevation.
Now just
To,
say over.
to address the subject
It's
here,
up.
okay,
It's
so,
up.
most of you know who I am and know that I have,
been running an organization called West Virginians for Clean Air. And we have been lobbying and struggling to get legislation passed in West Virginia to ban geoengineering as a general term for solar radiation management, stratospheric aerosol injection, weather modification, and related enterprises, which include the kind of ionospheric manipulation with high energy electromagnetic waves that have produced this very disastrous cold incident throughout the country. If you looked at a weather map today, it wouldn't look like any historical weather map because we have the entire east of the country in a deep freeze and the entire west in an overheated drought. And that's not the way our weather patterns usually work. But that's not what I'm here for. I wanted to introduce to you or let you know that we now have a bill number 632 in the Senate, and we have a bill number 5160 in the House that are under consideration. 632 in the Senate has been sponsored by Senator Woodrum and Senator Rucker from Jefferson County, and has been sent to the Natural Resources Committee. On the Natural Resources Committee, we have Chairman Bill Hamilton, and I think Vince Deeds is vice chairman of that committee, and Jack David Woodward is also on that committee. There are only 10 members of the committee, so we have a good representation thereon. And I've been in touch with Senator Hamilton as well as working closely with Jack David Woodrum to develop this bill. To do that, we drew from 34 other states' proposed bills. We took the best of each and incorporated it in a bill that we felt would work best with the resources and the capacities of West Virginia to protect all of us from this harm. The bill that is in the House is 5160, and 5160 was sponsored by Ray Canterbury and co-sponsored with Delegates Cooper, that's Roy Cooper from Summers County, Delegate White, and Delegate Ridenour, who is also from Jefferson County, as well as Delegate Dillon, and I don't know some of these people, but nevertheless, that's another substantial
Dillon is in Wayne County, and Ridenour is in Jefferson County, and a retired Marine from
Wonderful.
All right. Well, I have been in touch with Delegate Ridenour today, and he has. Well, let me step back for just a second, because this bill, that is House Bill 5160, has gone to the Committee on Energy and Public Works. There are 23 members of the Energy and Public Works Committee, and the only local representative we have on that committee is Jeff Campbell in East Greenbrier. And then as far as Ridenour is concerned, he's been very active in supporting this effort. He communicated with me today, and his primary communication was, in order for this to get through that committee, the leadership has to hear from people in the community. So one of my objectives here tonight was to see if any of you, what I would like to do is set up a system where we have volunteers calling these people to urge their support for this bill. The way I would think would work best is If any of you are willing to spend a few minutes making a few phone calls, I'd like you to give me your name and phone number and email address, primarily the email address. And then I can send you a list of the people to contact, their contact information, and if you wish, a copy of a list of talking points to address the issue. And to move that forward, I will pass this around. And if you would like, by the way, this is a little gimmick that we have. There you go. It shows West Virginians for clean air and a air raid airplane.
Rob, would you
Yes.
also provide something like a small script of what should be said?
Well, that's what my
These-
talking points are. It's
Yeah,
a
you're
list of 10 points
Okay.
that you may want to make in communicating with these folks. Now, along that line, and related to this is our concern of the impact of what's going on in the sky on our agriculture and our forestry. And I know we've talked about this before, but I brought a packet of information for you, which is both informative and includes a copy of each of the bills.
Okay.
Right, and I talked to Ally about that the last meeting we had here. And I have a packet for her too, but she's not here.
I'll see her tomorrow if you want to
We
get
get
it
it
to
to
her.
her.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Put your email address on there.
I don't have time to work on that stuff. I'll get it to her.
Thank you very much, because the poisons that are going in the air, including aluminum, barium, and strontium, are poisonous not just to us, but to all of the plants as well. And it would interest me, and since you're here, to know if any noticeable change has taken place in the forestry production. Do we have numbers on that?
I don't have anything on forestry, no.
No, okay. Well, it's just a question, but the point is, we do know that it's toxic to the plants. It adversely impacts their photosynthesis, it impacts their respiration, and that's significant for their conversion of carbon dioxide to oxygen as well. So I appreciate your few minutes of time, and if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to spend some time answering them. No questions, okay, thank you very much.
We'll get, when we get to the list that comes around, we'll get that back over to you.
Okay, appreciate that. Yes, sir.
Just like you know, that Sue McKinney and myself are running for the Representative State Executive, Republican State Executive Committee.
Good. That'll be a good development if it works.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
I'm running for Central District Executive Committee for Greenbrier County.
Central
Central
District.
District?
Yes.
Great. Great.
Look here, you're not gonna run for anything this time?
No,
You had enough.
pretty much.
I don't blame him.
Well, we need to support those who will run, especially candidates for the executive committee. That's a very important race. Prince, can I make another comment? Yes, sir. What I omitted in my previous remarks was that our group has sampled this so-called snow that we had in the last week or so. And we have sent it to a laboratory for analysis for 25 heavy metals to see what's really in there, including aluminum, barium, and strontium. And if you all are interested, we should have a report on that tomorrow.
I would like to be able to do
Well, we really was much. I don't think I have your email address.
Do we know if those samples were taken from a grass or a field area or on the road?
Well, they were, as I recall, I think they were just collected, like in a container as it fell.
Oh.
So de novo, if you will. And that would have been done in Lewisburg.
Sure was dense.
It was not
I've
normal
never
snow.
seen material like that in my life. All right, anyone who has not paid membership dues for 2026, you are encouraged to make payment to Allie Smith as early as possible. Any other remarks from?
Mary, I just talked with Mary Catherine. She will be here next meeting. Outside of that, just a lot of frustration with national events, but I won't bore everybody. I rant to my wife and newborn now, so and everything on that front is good. Sorry for my absence for the last 2 months. Last month I was sick, and the month before that I was probably running on about 4 hours of sleep every day. So I'm back and ready to get business.
We're
So,
glad.
How's the baby?
she's fantastic. She's growing like a weed.
Good.
She was at the 2 month check. She was at the 75th percentile for her age, and just fantastic. She's lighting up with expressions and
That's so exciting.
yes,
She is thriving.
yes, and she's letting me sleep, which is the most important part. So,
Yes.
and she's letting her mom sleep too, so that's
Good.
nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
Just international things, a couple that I have been paying attention to. Iran seems very weak. It's interesting to keep listening to those developments on the news, and especially interesting and surprising things coming out of Canada. A couple of the western provinces, Alberta and Saskatchewan, which have a lot of mining, production, and crop production. They have been running petition drives, and it looks like at least those two provinces are going to opt to leave the Canadian Confederation, which will be very interesting. They are two of the primary provinces that have a lot of trade connections with the United States. There are indications that some of the constituencies up there are actively campaigning to have them join the United States once they achieve a vote for independence. That's some months away. But that's a very interesting development from what it was like last year. Anyone else?
Well, I just want to mention the Women's Federation Day is going to be at the Capitol on 16th of February, and the First Lady State Denise Morrissey's going to have a welcoming reception on the 15th at her house at the mansion that evening. But I haven't gotten all the details how you've been registered if anyone wants to go. Allie's going to send them to me.
It was on that invitation that you sent me.
Or you could register.
Yes, you do have to register, I think by the, and I think I eliminated it.
I have it here, but I couldn't see where you could register.
Let's see.
You need to register by February the 11th, I think.
Ooh, next week.
Yeah, would you do, because unless you're confirmed,
Thank
they
you.
won't.
Thank you all very much. I hate to slip out, but I got a little farther to drive than most.
Thank you.
So thank you all very much. It's good to see
Be
everybody.
safe.
Yes. So, just in case anyone's interested, you can try to contact Ally for more information.
Yeah, there's a telephone number there because the Secret Service has to confirm you. I guess they do a background test of some sort.
Yours must appear, I didn't see it on mine. Yours, I know mine is.
But unless you're on the list,
Yeah.
they won't let you into the
Well,
meeting.
that makes sense.
Well, if the day's life, you have to. Okay.
Is that, you think they would let some of us into that, meeting if we identify as women that day?
No,
No.
You can always dress up and try.
Well, to the meeting, but not to the mansion's reception.
Oh, jeez, I was hoping to get
Meeting's at the Capitol.
dinner.
Oh, gosh.
Any other, remarks for the good of the order? No, the walk-ups have been pretty quiet this evening. Okay. We will prepare to adjourn. We don't have a lead singer. Did he delegate you to lead the song?
No, you didn't.
Did not. Well, I guess I can do that.
Yes, you can.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet